always on your side. This is First Coast News at 6.
Right now, we are covering some breaking news out of Alachua County. At least 6 people are dead. Several more are hurt in a crash. This is on I-75 near Gainesville. We understand it's about 15 minutes north of the University of Florida campus. And this is new video we've just gotten into our newsroom just within the past 30 minutes.
So in this video, you see that cloud of black smoke billowing into the sky just above the interstate as traffic just inches by. Several cars, including at least one semi, caught fire after this crash. Now, this stretch of I-75 is shut down right now in both directions. Traffic backed up for miles in this area. We're working to get you new details. We will update you both on air and on firstcoastnews.com as soon as we get more information.
Now to breaking developments in a crime spree that left 2 JSO officers injured and an 84-year-old man fighting for his life tonight. Now, this is the man police say is responsible for a robbery, kidnapping, car theft, and that police chase that stretched over 9 miles in Jacksonville yesterday afternoon. Lawrence Hall III has been charged with attempted murder and fleeing or attempting to elude law enforcement. Good evening. I'm Jeannie Blaylock.
And I'm Heather Crawford. It's now been 24 hours since this crime spree took place, and there still are a lot of developments unfolding in this case. So here's a look at the timeline of the events. It all began with a robbery at the Lucky Charms Arcade. That's in Mayport on Mayport Road at A1A. Now, we're told that led to a chase between the suspect and police in the Wonderwood neighborhood, which ended in a crash near Atlantic Boulevard and St. John's Bluff Road in Arlington. We have live team coverage for you tonight with On Your Side's Nick Perot and Eric Alvarez. We begin, though, with Eric, who's been digging into the suspect's past, and it appears he has a criminal record. Eric?
That's right. Now, it's important to note that even though there are 3 victims in this case, that suspect, Lawrence Hall III, actually has a lengthy criminal history, and tonight he is charged with attempting to kill one of the officers who tried to stop him. JSO says Hall drove this speeding, stolen car into 35-year-old officer Josh Wiggins with the intent to kill.
At 2:37 p.m., the suspect intentionally rammed a JSO officer that was outside of his vehicle on the side of Mayport Road.
The vehicle sped off, reaching speeds of 100 miles an hour, colliding minutes later with the car of another officer, 29-year-old Christopher Roussel.
At approximately 2:40 p.m., a second officer was injured as that officer attempted a vehicle intervention tactic on Atlantic Boulevard near Kernan.
The chase ended when the SUV crashed into a utility pole on Atlantic Boulevard. First Coast News cameras captured the moment first responders pulled Hall from the wreckage and put him handcuffed into an ambulance. Records obtained by First Coast News show Hall was released from prison September 9th after serving 4 years for burglary and fleeing police in 2014. He also spent 2 years behind bars starting in 2012 after being convicted of burglary, trafficking stolen property, and falsifying information to a pawnbroker. Now, JSO says more charges could follow, and the department is checking into other crimes in which Hall may have been involved. Live at JSO headquarters, Eric Alvarez, First Coast News, on your side.
Eric, thank you. Tonight, we are learning more about the man who was kidnapped. 84-year-old Lewis Reese is a deacon at the Oak Harbor Church. This evening, he is listed in critical condition in the hospital. Nick Perot is on your side. He joins us live. And Nick, you spoke with the lead pastor.
Well, yes, Heather. Speaking with David Tarkenton, he tells me that Lewis Reese, he had a relationship with him and he's known him in the family for about 3 years. But Lewis Reese, 84 years old, that church is 50 years old, Oak Harbor is, and he's been a critical piece for nearly all of them.
They're just asking for prayer. He is needing that at this point, but did have a good conversation with him.
Lead pastor David Tarkenton spoke with 84-year-old Lewis Reese for about 30 minutes today and says his family is asking for prayers. Friends reached out as well on social media, saying Reese suffered several broken bones and a collapsed lung.
He's coming around the circle!
Police say the man who entered this neighborhood stole this van and kidnapped Reese before leading police on a chase at speeds over 100 miles per hour, before being able to stop him after he crashed into a power pole. Tarkenton says Reese was always willing to help as a deacon for the church.
He's just one of those pillars of the church family, and faithful men, leads in any way that is necessary.
And back out here live, Oak Harbor's actually holding a prayer meeting tomorrow at Oak Harbor at their lawn, their memorial lawn there, 6 p.m. tomorrow for Reese as those 2 officers that were injured as well. Again, 6 p.m. tomorrow. They're also collecting donations for Reese and the 2 officers involved. You, of course, can get that information at Oak Harbor's website and on our website, firstcoastnews.com. We're live tonight. Nick Perot, First Coast News, on your side.
Thank you very much, Nick. Now let's check on the 2 officers injured during yesterday's kidnapping and police chase. They are still in the hospital tonight. First Officer Joshua Wiggins is 35 years old. He's been a patrol officer since October 2006. He was injured after being hit by the driver of the stolen Dodge crossover. Tonight, he is listed in critical but stable condition. And the second officer, Christopher Roussel, was injured while attempting to intercept the fleeing vehicle. That officer is a 29-year-old, and he has been with JSO for 2 years. First Coast News broke the news of the suspect's arrest online today. And if you have our app, you got the breaking news alert on your phone about 3:30 this afternoon. So if you want to be the first to get any breaking news alerts, download our First Coast News app. It's free for both Android and Apple users.
Now to a big break in the murder of a local gate gas station clerk that happened last month in Arlington. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office announcing the arrest of this man, 20-year-old Jabray Cook. He had been on the run for about 2 weeks. The victim in this case is 55-year-old Martin Hauer. Investigators say it was December 15th when Cook entered the Gate gas station on Merrill Road and robbed and shot the clerk, who later died at the hospital. Investigators also say Cook's responsible for robbing another Gate gas station on Atlantic Boulevard December the 16th. Cook was arrested New Year's Eve. JSO says he admitted to the robbery and to the murder of Howard. Well, today's court hearing in the case against accused killer Kimberly Kessler was postponed. We're told that there could be a possible change in the judge on this case. Today's hearing was based on a motion filed by Kessler's attorneys to compel prosecutors to share information that's been gathered as part of the evidence against her. Her attorneys cited more than 100 pieces of evidence that they say they've not received from the prosecution. Kessler is charged with the murder of Jolene Cummings, whose body has never been found.
And this just in, suspended City Council member Katrina Brown is getting a new attorney. The judge in her federal fraud case allowed her attorney to withdraw just a short time ago. The attorney had cited irreconcilable differences. The decision almost certainly will delay the trial that had been set for February. Now to an On Your Side investigation. 2 years ago, the Jacksonville Transportation Authority launched a $17 million makeover of Gervin Road. Now, the project adds a closed drainage system and gutters and curbs and sidewalks.
Yeah, but some property owners have a complaint with the JTA. They claim JTA did not deliver on promises to expand the driveways. But JTA told On Your Side's Ken Amaro it went above and beyond.
The Gervin Road widening project has been in the works for a couple of years and it's near completion, but not everything is to the satisfaction of the property owners. The project covers 2.9 miles and John Kinsel has a problem with his driveway.
I feel like they lied to me.
Kinsel says what he was promised is not what he received.
First public hearing meeting that they had on this, I requested a 20-foot wide driveway.
What was it before?
It was 27 foot.
And you requested 20?
Yes. And they said that would not be a problem.
Now that it's finished, the design has reduced the width tremendously.
It only gave me 16 foot 9 inches.
He says the height of the curb and how it's tapered off is the issue.
And that's a safety hazard.
It makes it difficult for him to get his motorhome into the driveway safely.
I can't get in and out without going over that curb.
Kinsley says he is forced to make a wide turn to the left into the oncoming lane to avoid the curb.
It's a safety hazard and I can't even get anybody to look at it.
The JTA provided On Your Side these before and after pictures of the driveway, what it looked like in 2015 and what it looks like in 2019, dirt versus concrete.
I want to see them fix it.
The JTA said in a statement, existing driveways are to be replaced at the same location and width. The JTA and its contractor went above and beyond the scope required in the approved plans.
Have this flat.
Kinsel says the solution is simple, reduce the height of the curb and make the driveway safer to use.
Get rid of that tapered curve, or at least reduce it significantly.
Ken Amaro, First Coast News, On Your Side.
Ken is always on your side, and as anyone who I work with can tell you, if you go out anywhere with Ken, everyone wants to talk to him. So now you have your chance. Ken Amaro is going to be at the Metro Diner this coming Monday. He's there to listen to your concerns, hear your complaints, and help solve your problems. So you can stop by from 9 a.m. until noon this Monday at the Metro Diner on Roosevelt Boulevard. That's in Ortega.
A traffic alert for you tonight. The Main Street Bridge northbound on-ramp is going to be closed for 3 days for repairs. The closures start tonight, also January 7th and 8th. And on those days, the northbound on-ramp will be closed from 7:30 at night to 5:30 a.m. Drivers will be detoured to the Acosta Bridge during this closure.
He wanted to serve our country, but a hit-and-run driver stole that from him. Coming up, how he's using a new passion to thank the people who gave him his words back.
And the same system that caused the Santa Anas during the Rose Bowl is headed our way. We'll take a look at the windy weather pattern on the way in just a few moments.